What's going on? Why is it not going live? Oh, am I live now? Okay, I think I'm live. I tried to go live for ages and it just wouldn't work for some reason. Um, Welcome back, everybody. We are live scalping the NQ, day trading the New York Open. Let's get a screen up. Hopefully, I'm actually live. I'm just going to double check because YouTube's having a few problems right now. Am I live? Okay, Trade Audi says, yes, I'm live. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I tried to, for the last 10 minutes, I've been going live and it kept saying, try again, try again, try again. No idea what was going on, but it seems like it's working. Okay, awesome. So we missed the open, but it's fine. Let me just mark up some of these charts real quick. Freaking YouTube, man. Ruining my, what do you call it? So I do have more of a bearish bias today. That sell-off did occur. If you remember yesterday, we had this whole chop, and I saw, a big seller passively just absorbing all these buyers, and they're still. I looked in the pre-market. They're still absorbing passively buyers. So I think there's going to be a huge sell-off. I'm not saying today, but there's going to be at some point, I think, a big sell-off. Someone is building up a huge position. Trade Audi says we got we got the move. The moment I the moment I ended the live, the move happened. It was like 2 minutes after the live, and I caught the move, but obviously not live on the live stream. I caught it, so I was up 2,500 yesterday. But you can't make this shit up. Sometimes it's just, I don't know. The market is mental. Let me just get these charts going, set up real quick. I've been trying to go live for ages. Oh, look at all that sell pressure. All right. I just want to mark out any important areas, so I know where the hell I am in terms of price. Let's get a volume profile from there, from this little upward move. Just drag it over, keep dragging. Oh man, what a day. What an absolute day. Today, just to let you all know, it's not going to be a long stream today, even if the market's shit. I've got something I have to be at by 4 p.m. UK time. And right now it's 2:35. So I'll probably be off stream in about an hour, 10 hour, 20 minutes maximum will be the long. Hopefully it wouldn't be that long. Hopefully we can get the moves nice and early and the market's a bit more, cooperative today. But again, we're having that same, like on the open, you can usually tell what kind of day it would be just from the open. It's all right. Let's just break this down. So we had the open, bunch of buyers came in, trickle of sellers at the bottom, and then sellers coming in again at the bottom here, getting trapped. Just the same, usual up down kind of. No one really knows the direction, and I think that's ultimately down to we got a lot of news this week. Today's a slow news day. There's nothing really today in terms of the calendar. Tomorrow we've got a bit of news, but again, pre-market got a bit of news, but nothing too major. But obviously the big one will be on Friday. I think we have, yes, Friday we got non-farm. That's obviously the big one, and I think once that happens, it's going to open up the market a bit, and we're going to finally get a bit of direction here. But I do still see a big seller in the market absorbing a lot of buy pressure, and this seller is gigantic. They're doing it for a longer term move, so it's not really going to help us in terms of scalping, but it's going to give us a bit more direction, hopefully after the news. Andre, welcome back. Trade Audi, welcome back. Thomas, good to see you all. Meet Dad Hanya. Choppy today. Don't take just an advice. No, very choppy. I think it's going to be choppy for the next few days until NFP. That's going to really open up the market, hopefully. But yeah, it's going to be choppy for this week, I think. So bear in mind that it's choppy. If I'm taking trades, I'm not going to wait for extensions anymore. I'm going to just try and scalp, 5-10 points here, there. I'm not going to try and hold, too much of these trades, just because, I'm not expecting a massive amount. Services PMI after 7 minutes. Yes, we do. You're absolutely right. Not expecting too much movement from it, but it's good to always keep your mind, even yellow folder news, good to keep keep it in mind just in case. You never know. I've seen yellow folder news move the market before. Sam, if you look at your daily, we on a wedge, so we're basically stuck. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. We're just ranging long term, and I mean, if I go, like you said, daily, I'm going to do it on candlesticks, because the footprint, when you do it like long term, it just looks messy. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, clear as day. But it's getting smaller and smaller, these moves, and it's kind of this buildup of pressure. Someone is absorbing a lot of buy contracts in the last few days. So this whole kind of little trickle up, especially yesterday. I mean, if you just look at yesterday's candle, you can see the absorption happen. That's why we got such a long wick. And then, yeah, we did have kind of a push down. Today we've just opened, so we'll see what happens. But I feel there's going to be a sell-off coming. I feel there's an inevitable sell-off. All right, let me go back to the footprint, switch it back, zoom in. Let's see if we can get out of this range area since the open. Get some kind of, in terms of where we are scalping-wise short term, we're not really, there's nothing really too much of interest. I mean, we just kind of tested the high again from earlier. And we're kind of just in the middle, bit more on the upper distribution, but not really. I am still more short bias, though, just because of that seller. But I don't want to chase. Like, look at this volume coming in, 500 contracts. Jeez, that's a lot of volume. But I don't want to chase it, because I know how choppy it is. If you enter now, there's a good chance those sellers are going to get trapped. Buyers are going to squeeze them out. So I want a bit of direction. I want a bit of, clarity before I jump in. What do you do for a living? Just asking. I'm a trader. I've been a trader for many, many years, but I'm also employed as well. So full disclosure, the prop firm Ola Prime that I'm trading with, I am actually employed by them as well. Okay, I run their UK operations. So I've been with them for many years. As a prop firm, we've been running for a year and a half, something like that. But before we were a prop firm, we were an actual trading floor, closed capital. So not outside funds. And I was a trader with them then. And then when we decided to become a prop firm, we opened it up, obviously, and, to the world, so to speak. And I got a promotion to run the UK side of things. Okay, I'm interested to see if these sellers are legit. Are they going to defend? Are we going to get some kind of defensive play here to potentially push it down? But there is a lot of, okay, it happened so quick. Happened so quick. We got a bit of defense, but I'm still not. Nah, I'm going to hold. I'm going to wait for a bit. But like I was saying, yeah. So I work for Ola Prime as well. So I guess you could say, although I'm a trader, I technically have a day job as well. you know, doing, yeah, look right here again. It's why you don't chase high volume, especially in a choppy market. It's buyers are trying to squeeze these sellers out, but if sellers keep coming in, they might be able to push it down, but it's just not, it's too much of a battle. Are you an Arab person? I am half Arab, yes. My father's Arabic, hence the name. Does Ola Prime have straight to funded? Yes, we do. We have a direct account both on Forex and futures. You can go ahead, check it out. And yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, you know, do check all the rules before, you know, I think the direct model has a consistency rule as well. So look at that. These buyers are mental. Nothing yet though, nothing yet. Weekly initial balance. Okay, they'll line some of these trades up. Hey, if you building a team, I got some volume profile levels and weekly initial balance levels that I could help line some of these trades up. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam to you, Trade Audi. Yes, I mean, I'm not building a team myself. So like, full disclosure again, the reason I do these live streams is part of Ola Prime's marketing strategy, obviously. So we used to do Ola Prime TV where we traded live with a bunch of trading coaches, but we just weren't getting viewers, truth be told. Not sure why. The content was great, but you know, we were live like all day, you know, so many different coaches, great guys and girls, but we just weren't getting viewers, and we don't know why, to be honest. So we decided to switch up the strategy a bit, and they asked, okay, well, how about each individual coach goes live on their own channel and see how that works? And that's hence why I'm here. So yeah, so that's why I'm streaming on my own channel, and it's fun. I like doing it as well, you know. It is fun to do. Look at that. These sellers completely trapped. Insane. So yeah, that's why you don't chase high volume. Look at that. And I'm not going to chase the buyers either, because I feel the same shit will happen to the buyers. It's just it doesn't want to go anywhere. You know, it just wants to be choppy all day. Just realized something. Let me just make this a bit bigger. I really should be doing a volume profile from here, to be honest. Let me get rid of this one. I drew it a little bit wrong. I should really be doing it from the top. And just draw that over, drag that over. There we go. Okay. There's a nice little gap at the top here. I feel like we'll get some kind of rejection at the top here. So if we do get to that area, which we have yet to get to, we almost got to it earlier, yesterday even, 5th of January. But we didn't quite get to it since. So if we do get to that area, I'll be looking to potentially short this market. If the volume lines up, if we get a lot of trap buyers, but the buy pressure is coming in very strong. Cruz Anthony, do you know what's Tony been up to? Tony, yeah, he's still trading. He's not doing it live. I haven't spoke to him in a couple of weeks. I think I wished him like Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and stuff. But I think he's taking a break. He's got a young child, and you know. But yeah, hopefully Tony starts streaming as well. That'd be great. Overnight high, yesterday's high around this level. Yes, absolutely. Sammy, look for a possible short at 25,703, 25,703. So where we are, yeah, this is kind of, I'm looking a little bit higher. Here we go. We're in that area. All right. We could get a potential short now. I want to see now buyers get trapped and real sell pressure come in. I could fade it a little bit because I'm seeing sellers come in, but I just want to see a little bit, you know, Now they're getting absorbed. 32.24. I don't think it's ready yet. 60. Okay, the sellers I might jump in for a real quick short. Maybe just target back down to this point of control. I can have a stop just a little bit above. I'm going to, because again, if you missed the beginning, I've only got under an hour left because I have to be somewhere at 4. So I'm not looking for a long stream. So I'm going to try get a few trades in, even if they're small scalps, but I'm going to be a lot more cautious in terms of holding it. I want to see a bit more sell pressure, trapping these buyers. Come on, at least get me, back to this kind of high level area here with this last little high, because that's going to be the first area where you're going to expect some kind of, pushback. Come on, these sellers are trickling in. They're doing okay. They are fighting it, but they're doing okay. I want to just see a pop. Really, I should be kind of trading micros, and scaling in a bit, but it's fine. Come on now. Come on. Where are these sellers? Don't fail here. Well, I'm going to have to flatten. Don't make me flatten. Look at these damn buyers trying to get in. If we can get below those buyers coming in right now, the 130, we get below them. So I'm just going to draw a little box where they were. Oh, geez, what the hell happened there? Look at that explosion. All right. It's fine. Come on. Come on. These sellers tried to push it down. I want to see buyers get trapped again. This is a choppy market, man. This is dangerous to trade. Super dangerous. That was an explosion of buyers, almost 1,000 extra contracts. But the sellers are defending that area, which is good. They are defending here, but they can very easily get broken. But my stop is very small, so it's absolutely fine. I've got a very small stop, so I can still fade it. I just want a bit more sell pressure to come into this market. It's just not enough at this moment in time. They're still, look, buyers are still getting trapped at the top here, but they're coming in quite strong. Nah, we're out. Okay. Little failed move. We almost had it. But they failed. And these buyers just came in with an explosion. I think somebody look for possible. Oh, look at this. One real quick. Before I look at the comment, 415 contracts at the top here. If we travel below them, I'm going to be, oh my God, 600. It's rare to see 600. Very rare to see 600. I'm just going to mark out where those buyers are. If we travel below them, this is good. But there's no sellers yet. There's still no sellers. This might just be a little trap if we get below those buyers. They're very effective. So we had a bit of a push down, and unfortunately a big buyer came in aggressively and just gapped the market up there. What can you do? It happens. But it looks like these buyers are quite effective at this moment in time. Still not going to chase their volume yet. Let me just look on the chart, the area of the chart where to. It could be. It could still be a trap. We haven't traveled that far yet. It could still be a trap. I'm going to look at the comment real quick. As an experienced trader, what actually makes you enter and what's the exit strategy? Good question. That's a hard one, actually. Okay, real quick, because it's all popping off right now. The sellers are coming in. I'm going to go in again because I still think there's too much volume in this market. When there's so much volume, people are going to take advantage of you. And I think those buyers might get trapped. There is a big aggressive buyer in the market trying to push this market up and up. But because they're going to be vulnerable, essentially. And if enough sellers come in and try and, bully this buyer out the market, And once they do drop out the market, you get that pop. And that's all I'm looking for. So realistically speaking, I mean, if we release those sellers and, you know, squeeze out those sellers, I got to get out the market, right? So I can have a stop, you know, around there. And if those buyers exit, if we do squeeze them out, these heavy buyers, especially the ones that came in originally here, if we squeeze them out, I can add more size to this position. Because what you want to do is you don't want to just do one, like you want to break your trade up into multiple, what do you call it? Multiple chunks, right? So you don't want to put your whole risk on just one trade, right? So the account I have is a bit different as well. Like I don't really have a maximum loss. If that makes, obviously there is maximum loss. Like I can't lose all the money. Like they'll be upset with me. But I have a kind of like a special account, if you want to put it that way, with Ola Prime, where I don't have the restrictions of like typical. Yeah, see these buyers, these sellers are starting to get trapped here. Come on. They haven't exited yet, so it's not the end of the world. Just need to see those sellers defend more, squeeze these buyers out. These buyers are trying to defend their position, which makes sense as well. But they are vulnerable. There's too much volume in this market, way too much volume. My stop is very tight, like extremely tight. It could easily get triggered, but I'd rather get triggered on a small stop, jump in again, and then once the move happens, you know, pile on the positions, and you know, then you can make a hell of a lot more once it does happen. So, all right, sellers are still coming in, 190, 180. They're getting absorbed though. You can see the numbers are another 100, back to 90, 100. That they are piling in. They're trying to kind of squeeze out these buyers, which is good. Let's hope that they can actually do it. If they can't, like they're getting absorbed. Buyers, that buyer's defending aggressively. You can see it in real time. That buyer is extremely defensive right now because they've got, you know, hundreds of contracts. They've got so much size in the market. They're going to defend aggressively. But everyone and his dog right now has spotted him or her, or it's more likely an institution. It's not an individual, obviously. But everyone has spotted that person, and they're going to try squeeze them out the market. So let's see if the sellers are going to be able to do it. They're still piling on these buyers. Look at that, from 100 back down to 15. Again, another sellers are still trying to battle it, but they might fail here. They might fail. There is a, come on, sellers, you can do this. Squeeze that buyer out. Because if we can squeeze them out, oh God, this move is going to be epic. This is going to be such a good move. And I'm just dipping my toe in with one contract. And then once it's like clear, but this buyer has given up and been squeezed out, add more, add size once it moves. Just got stopped out. This buyer's still defending 230 contracts. They're still not squeezed out. It's fine. We'll wait. I'll look at the comments real quick while that happens. Where were we? This, yeah. As an experienced trader, what actually makes you enter, and what's the exit strategy? So there's no the entry. I'll make a proper video about it, to be fair, because it's kind of hard to. It's not hard to explain, but what you want to. Okay, it is difficult to explain just on the entry and exit. So the exit really the entry depends on. All right, there's two ways you can do it. Okay, let me simplify this. There's two ways. So this position I just took, right, that I got stopped out on. There's two ways you could have played that. You could have not taken the position when you saw the heavy volume, right? and waited for us to, you know, trade below them, and then all those buyers get out the market, then jump in for the move. You could have done it that way. Or you could do how I do it, but the risk you run there is if the move doesn't fully happen and those buyers come back in, you're now at a really bad price and your stop has got to be a lot bigger. So you're risking a lot more because you've got in at a worse price, right? But you only have a few shots at timing it. If you jump in a bit early, but dip your toe in, maybe one contract, 5 micros, whatever it might be, right? Oh, look at that. Again, they're coming in. So this is another chance to potentially jump in, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to explain this. Dip your toe in. And then once it does happen, add more size, because once the move happens, then you can add more size and then you catch the whole move. And from my experience, it's more profitable that way. But on choppy markets, you're going to get chopped up as well. Either way, you're going to always get chopped up if you're trying to catch vulnerability in the market, because timing it perfectly is always okay. So this is looking, it's just not enough sellers in comparison, but there is so many buyers at the top. I can have a stop. I'm going to jump in one more time. I can have a stop here again. I'm going to dip my toe in, see if we can squeeze out these damn buyers eventually. If we can't squeeze them out and they keep defending, then I will play it more defensively. So a lot of, actually, okay, here we go. So what we're seeing now is those 500 whatever buyers, some of them are dropping out the market, but they're also buying back again. Because you can see it went from 300, we're back down to 100. You can see a lot of buyers are still trying to defend their position, which is what you're going to expect in this. Look at that. And they're reloading again. There's too much volume in this market. Way too much volume. Way too much volume. This is going to drop at some point. It's going to drop hard. We have got too much volume right now in this market. I think I'm going back in again. I know this looks crazy, but this is going to drop. It's going to drop hard in a minute. Not in a minute, but at some point this is going to drop, and I want to catch the move. And I've only got 30 minutes maybe left. Just come on. They're going to get squeezed out. I need to put a stop. What am I doing? I'm going to put another stop there. They're going to get squeezed out. There's too much volume. We're at, what's the volume right now? Let me just move this so I can see it on the footprint. We're at 3, where was it? Where was the move where it started? We were at minus 400, say minus 500, it doesn't really matter. Minus 500 delta. And in this move, we've got an extra 5,000 contracts. This is huge. This is going to be a big sell-off. This is going to be a big freaking sell-off when it happens. I'm talking, I wouldn't be surprised if we go all the way back down, clear out all those buyers and go all, you know, far, like low of day and beyond. Just got to time the move. And you're going to get chopped up, but it's fine. I'll look at the comments real quick while I wait. Where is it? You're a counter trend trader. Kind of. Yeah, kind of a counter trend trader. Like I will follow the move. Like how can I put this? All right. So because there's so much buy volume in the market, eventually those buyers are either going to have to exit, right? They have to exit at some point. Or other institutions are going to try and squeeze them out, which I think is going to happen soon. It's just as soon as those buyers drop, the move will happen. And it's the problem is it's very hard to time. Okay, it could happen, but at the same time, to be fair, when it does happen, you will kind of know when it happens, like for sure, because it will be so obvious. Like this could be it right now, but we might only get a little drift down before those buyers reload and come back in. 1 second, sorry, I got an important message. Yeah, that's fine. Time is it? 3 o'clock. Okay, I've probably got 40 minutes, I'd say, before I have to leave. I really hope it happens in the next 30 minutes. I don't want a repeat of yesterday because I wouldn't even be able to catch it then, because I'm literally going to be off the desk. Let me look at the comments real quick. Recall seeing you up 40K on Instagram. How's your balance? 112. You took a payout. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. You got to take money out as well. This could be it. There's a lot of sellers now squeezing these buyers out. What I'm at, minus 12. That's not bad. Okay, I'm going to risk about 3K today. I just want to see these sellers. I don't think it's... All right, if we travel above those sellers, look, 300 and they're still struggling. Not yet, not yet. I think these sellers are being absorbed. Not yet, not yet. It's a bit of a better price now because I can have a smaller stop. All right. I can have a stop up here. Let me just double check where I'm looking for the stop. What price point is this? 761. Yeah, I can do another 320. Sellers are trapped, but I think the squeeze is going to happen soon. Come on. I might get stopped out again, but it's fine. I want to pile on the positions. I want to pile them on. To be fair, the take profit doesn't matter right now because I'll trail it as it happens. Okay, this is looking a bit better. We got the 120 there. Let's keep. So now I know where I can. What the hell? Why is this jumping up and down? Let me do it like that. Wait, let me get the. Oh, sugar cubes. What have I done? I can't see. That's terrible. Bit more. There we go. All right, see the footprint a bit clearer. Let me just look at some of the comments real quick. What is that indicator you have on TradingView? Not an indicator. It's a chart type called volume footprint. So if you go to the chart, there's actually a video on my channel. I explain how to get it. It's titled. 1 second. Buyers are still piling up. They're getting absorbed. Let me see the cumulative from here. 4 points. It's actually flat, the cumulative. So that's not. Oh, they got absorbed like crazy. Is this the move? Is this the move? There's so much buy pressure. They're starting to fail as well, the buyers. They're not able to push it like they were. $138, 105, 94, 80, 75. Come on. They're getting absorbed like crazy. That big seller's still passively absorbing a lot of buyers. They're still building up a position. I wonder what they're building it up for, though. What do they know that we don't know? That's the $1 million question. All right, I'm going to just wait for that sell pressure to come in a bit, see if they're effective. Because if you remember, that was like 400 at one point, that 173. Look at that, the buyers. Oh, this is it. This is it. This could be it. I'm jumping in again. Stop a little bit. This could be it. Buyers trapped at the top. Come on, sell pressure. Come in now. Squeeze them out. I want to add more size. This could be the sell-off. Buyers are trying to come back in. The sellers are absorbing them like crazy. This could be it. Building for an NFP dump. Yeah, it's going to be news related most likely. But there's a huge seller absorbing a massive amount, building a massive position for the last couple of days. They know something we don't know. Come on now. Don't fail here. I'm going to gear up to potentially add another position if we get below these buyers and we get, this is it, yeah, 190. Let's see how effective they are. I could potentially add another position, but I really want to get below this boxed area here, truth be told. Let me just update all this. The volume profile is being updated. Zoom in. I think this is potentially the beginning of the move now. 230 sellers. They're still trying to, the buyers are still obviously trying to protect, especially these buyers, these original ones here. They're trying to defend their position. But we did squeeze out some of these guys, which is good. They're going to give up the moment we travel below them. They're going to start giving up. Go to silver. Unfortunately, I don't trade silver, man. Never have. I'd be completely useless at silver. I've never even looked at the silver chart, if I'm honest. It's just never been my thing. I've never really traded it. I wouldn't want to trade silver. Not because it's a bad instrument to trade. It's just I have no experience with it. You kind of, I don't know, you get used to a certain, every instrument moves a certain way and you kind of get used to it and you find the ones you like and whatnot. But for me, yeah. We may go all right, here we go. We're starting to squeeze them out now. I think this is the move finally. My God, there was a lot of potential chop. Let's see if these sellers remain effective, though. We need to get them, we need to get a bit of an extension. Otherwise, we're going to have a bit of chop. But once we clear all those buyers and they give up, we can have a nice move down. Also, can you please explain why you mark out low volume nodes as areas of interest? So a low volume node, although it's like volume based, if you actually think about it, the only reason it's low volume is because the market didn't spend much time there, right? So if you look at all the point of controls, all the high volume, it's high volume because the market spent a lot of time in that area, hence why the volume was built up, right? So a low volume node is basically just a gap, essentially, right? It's just like a weekend gap, day gap, whatever, right? Like whenever the market gaps, that's essentially kind of like a low volume node, right? All it means essentially is just not market spend much time there, it just kind of gap through, right? That price level. And gaps have this tremendous ability to reject. So that's why I really mark them out. So this was, let me just make this a bit bigger so I can see it. This was a low volume node. That's why we're still kind of, struggling in that area. Because we need to really break below it to get a really nice move. Let me just see if it's still low volume. It is starting to build up, but it's still a low volume node. These buyers are still trying to fight it. Come on. I'm just going to mark this one out. I'm trying to keep my eye on the footprint at the same time. All right, now I can make the footprint bigger. All right, look at these buyers still trying to come in. Potentially going to look at adding another position if they start failing, these buyers. We're still not in the clear yet, though. Still not in the clear. Still just dipping my toe in. So I really want to catch a big move. You can scalp, and although, I mean, it's still technically scalping, but I used to do like micro scalping, but that's like almost impossible when the market's choppy. You can kind of do it later hours once the market calms down and it moves a bit slower. Then you can kind of do micro scalping, but when it's choppy like this, you just get gapped, and by the time you hit flatten or whatever, the market's already moved, or by the time you try enter them, you get slippage, and it just doesn't work. This could be, these buyers are becoming too effective. And I think the sellers just didn't have it. Look, they're struggling. They're trying to come back in and fight these buyers, but the buyers are still at it. I need these sellers to become more effective. These buyers won't let go. Just won't let go. We've got to get below this low volume. We've got to squeeze out. It's these freaking buyers here who defended very well. These assholes. It's 569. This douchebag in a market, he's defending. And everyone's trying to squeeze this guy out. Come on, team sellers. Let's squeeze him out. Mindset shift for me. Have always looked at high volume node as wall resistance and low volume of some sort of follow through. Yeah, so high volume, obviously, you can definitely look at it like the point of control is always going to be something you want to kind of be aware of, right? The market generally always reacts to the point of control. Hence why I've just randomly set the take profit at I'm not saying that it's going to go down here right now. Of course not. Like I'll very happily probably take profit earlier on, but it really just depends on like if it keeps going and starts flooding down, we get this nice kind of, the buyers give up and the sellers just pile on and it starts dropping. I'm going to just trail this trade and try and squeeze out as much as I can from it. Even if it goes past the point of control, I'll keep squeezing it out, So I'm happy to take small losses, $200-$300, whatever, trying to catch the beginning of the move. And then once it starts, I can really pile on the money, and make a shit ton, in one move. That's the kind of, what do you call it? But yeah, these sellers are still failing, man. They're still failing. Not ready yet. These buyers are just, that one buyer in the market, I'm telling you, that guy is lethal. He does not want to give up his position. He defended with all his heart, and fair play to him. He's done quite well. He's definitely defended quite well. But the sellers are still trying to squeeze him out. They're still trying to squeeze him out, which is good. ES made a higher high. Oh, did it? Interesting. Interesting. Let me actually look at the ES. I mean, I'm in a trade, but if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. It's fine. I'm not gonna modify it at this point. I just want to see. I'll just go to auto real quick. I want to see if that buyers across. Yeah, they're there as well. 1,000. They're across multiple markets. This is a big ass buyer. I'm telling you that. Man, the volume on ES is huge, man, compared to Nasdaq. It's actually a lot easier to read the footprint on the ES. It's got a much cleaner footprint. NQ. Let's go back to NQ. Set it to 24. I mean, fair play to the sellers. They're still trying to squeeze this guy out. I hope they do it, obviously, because I'm in a sell position. I'm team sellers all the way. I think this could be a dump, such a big dump if we squeeze them out. So, how to read the footprint? Oh, that's an hour-long lecture. But I tell you what, I will make in-depth videos on how to read a foot. I've been kind of holding off because in recent days the footprint it's been too chaotic, the market lately. This whole week the market's been absolute chaos, and I don't want to, you know, like when I make the video, I want good, clean examples, because trying to read a chaotic market is nothing can kind of save you in a chaotic market, because there is no direction as a whole, right? It's big buyers, big sellers, they're battling it out. No one knows who's actually going to win. That's just a reality. Like, you just do not know. It could change any second. A massive seller could come in right now and push this market down if they wanted to, right? Like a gigantic seller. Like it's when the market is chaotic and there's disagreement in the market and there's no real direction as of yet, it becomes a lot more like a gamble, right? So I don't want to do like a in-depth video on the footprint in these kind of conditions, because these are not normal, like day-to-day conditions. Normally, it's because we're at the beginning of the year. There's been no news. It's Q1. Everyone's resetting. You know, that's essentially all it is, right? But once, you know, NFP comes out, CPI next week, all the big stuff, you know, and we get the kind of direction, all these analysts start analyzing and making their predictions, then you get this kind of more kind of calm, agreeable market, and then the footprint becomes really, really good to use, and you can read it a lot easier. Like this right now is tough to read, and it's not so much that it's hard to read. You can see what's happening, right? Buyers are trying to push it up, sellers are trying to push it down. Essentially, sellers are trying to squeeze out big buyers. Big buyers adamant to try and aggressively push it up. Everyone's just battling it out, but there's no agreement. Do you know what I mean? So you're not going to really get like clean trends either. You might get sudden spikes as aggression, you know, shifts real quick, but you're not going to get clean kind of trends to trade. So it's not good conditions for like a nice educational footprint video right now. But as the year progresses, as time goes on, and the markets calm down, which they do, obviously there's always going to be times where there's going to be chaos, you know, geopolitical reasons, whatever, like things are always going to happen, right? But, you know, 80% of the time when the markets calm throughout the year, it becomes really good. Maybe ES is easier to read, print and trade. Yeah, no, absolutely. ES is generally speaking easier to read and trade. It just moves a lot slower, obviously. But it has a lot more volume, the ES. So the book itself, the depth of market, this thing on the side, why is it in the middle somewhere? There it is. So this thing here, right, that you're seeing where, you know, you got all the limit orders, right, on either side of the market. It's a lot thicker on the ES. Like there's a lot more volume, meaning it's a lot harder and it takes a lot more volume to move the market up and down. So that's why the ES moves less than the NQ. The NQ's got a much thinner book, much less volume, which is kind of, you know, a double-edged sword, because on one hand, yes, you have, you know, the opportunity to make more money because it just naturally moves more, but you also have a much greater chance of the market just kind of gapping and taking you out, and support and resistance becomes a little bit weaker as a whole, you know. So choose the market you like. I have more experience actually on the ES than the NQ. So for the first 11 years of my career was ES, and I only in the last year kind of switched to the NQ, mainly for the lives, because the ES was a bit boring. We thought, okay, well, maybe we could switch to NQ. It's a bit more exciting, might bring in more viewers, you know, more opportunity. And I've just, you know, if I go live, I'm more NQ, but the ES is kind of actually the better market to trade, I would say. The NQ is just more exciting. So, you know, totally abnormal conditions lately, very hard trade. Yeah, Cody, honestly, very, very tough markets recently. But they calm down. Like it'll get better. You might have a shitty week. You might have, you know, the important thing is just don't blow your account. You know, you can trade it, but just have a cutoff. You know, be willing to. All right, I lost X amount today. I'm happy with that. I just got taken out. Yeah, these buyers and sellers. You know, sellers were trapped again at the bottom. We are still pretty much ranging. The sellers have kind of just given up. Look at that, buyers pulling in again. Buyers coming in again. They're so adamant. The amount of volume now in this market is ridiculous. It's still going to dump at some point. It will dump. It inevitably has to dump, right? When there's that much volume on the buy side, unless they're willing to hold it for months on end, which they're obviously not, right? It will dump. The moment they exit, shit, we're already at 326. I'm going to have to leave soon. It's just not happening yet. I tell you what I will do. I've got this thing at 4 p.m. I'll be back around 4:40. Just before it looks decent, I might go live and hope and catch the move. So yeah, I could do that. I could go live again a little bit later if you guys would like that. The moment I'm back, because I just got this annoying. It's not annoying. I actually got a haircut booked in. It was the only time before my barber leaves, so I had to book it in now. But again, look at this pile up of buyers, and the sellers are absorbing them again. Can we do another trade? We could probably do another trade. The thing is, I don't want to be in the trade and then have to leave before it plays out. Nah, it's not going to work, is it? You did a great video on footprints about 3 weeks ago on YouTube. Yeah, December was a beautiful month to trade. It was a really nice month because it was more calm. So, you know, beginning of January is always going to be mental. It's just expected. How do you get the delta and cumulative volume at the bottom? So if it's part of the footprint, you have to go to the footprint settings. So just double click anywhere within the footprint, essentially, and then go to show summary info, make sure it's table, and then select the cumulative, delta, or whatever, anything else you want to select. If you want to have it there, go for it. But that's essentially how you do it. Sam, the lesson you posted weeks ago is very helpful. Very clear explanation. Helped me a lot. New subs here. Awesome. Well, I'm glad it helped. But I would say actually that the ES is probably a good market, probably better to trade than the NQ because the footprint's easier to read. You see, I want to go in again. These sellers might squeeze. They're still trying to squeeze out this buyer. They're not letting him. They don't want him to win, which I can understand. I'm going to go in again. If I have to leave in like 10 minutes, so regardless, I'm going to have to close this trade in 10 minutes. I don't think it's going to happen, I'll be honest. Like, I don't think it's going to happen in 10 minutes. This buyer still trying to defend it, which is fine. But I'm just trying to get a bit of action here before I have to leave. I mean, I could set and forget it, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely because if the dump happens while I'm away, we're going back. We're going like far down. We're properly going to dump hard. So I could set and forget the trade. Have a bit more of a, you know, wider stop, and I could do that actually. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. The market oracle. Oh, Tom's back. I'm doing good. How are you, Tom? Can you trade ES if it's easier so we can learn? Yeah, I can move over to ES. Like I said, I only do the NQ really on lives because it's more exciting, and excitement brings viewers, apparently. That's what I was told. So I do NQ. Can you sorry, once you are famous, one day you will ignore this stupid comments. Which comments? If I ignored anyone, I do apologize. I'm not actively trying to ignore you. It's just you know, trying to keep up with all the messages. Yeah, I do think the dump is going to happen. Let me just make a bigger footprint on the 15-minute real quick. Let's see how this volume distribution is. All right, well, the volume distribution isn't great for the sell side, if I'm honest, straight away. The sellers are all trapped at the bottom, so it's not great for the sell side. But, you know, again, buy volume trapped at the top. Lots of sell volume trapped at the bottom at the open, which is fine. But there's so much. Oh my god, especially this candle here. This candle here, the amount of buy volume in it. Just look at it. Basically 4,000 extra buy contracts. My god, when that dumps, when that gets squeezed out, this is going to be a dump. Like, you know, a real nice move. Similar to like something like this, where it's just unstoppable push down. I really hope it doesn't happen when I'm gone. I really, really don't want it to happen when I'm gone. I mean, it's not the likelihood of it doing it right now is obviously low. I've only got. Okay, wait. I need to be there at 4 p.m. It's 3:32. It's about a 5-minute drive away. Obviously, I've got to wash my hair, get rid of all the gel. So give me 10 minutes. So 10, 15 minutes. Okay, I can leave. And I can be another 15 minutes, and then I have to go. Like otherwise I'll be late for the appointment. So I could stay for another 15 minutes maybe. I'm great, man. The past couple of days I came out alive and green. Time to move into my next morning block outdoor cardio. Very nice, Tom. Well, I'm glad you're green, man. I'm glad you're green. I'm just about green so far on this week. Well, actually, no, I'm out now, but I'm locked up and locked out now too. So the new year's going great. Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear. But like I said, I have to leave in like 12 minutes. But if the market's still good and I come back, I will go live again today because I want to catch this damn move. I would genuinely be so disappointed if I come back, the move has happened, and I missed it. I'll be so pissed off. I want to catch it massively because this is a shit ton of volume. This is going to be a big move. This is a lot of buy volume. Andre says you're going to end the stream and the move is going to happen again. I know. Just like yesterday, right? The moment I ended it, boom. I mean, the move could happen, like start now. I do believe it's in this area the move is going to happen. It's just how long are we going to consolidate up and down before the buyers give up, you know, or before the sellers can actually squeeze out these buyers. Because you can literally see their order blocks, right? This buyer. They're just a bunch of order blocks. Big one there, and then they did another one there, and then they did another one there. And every time they place their orders, sellers are trying to squeeze them out, but they have a lot of money. This buyer, you know, he has a big capital, big account behind him. He can fight back essentially, but it's not passively done, and that's why it's dangerous for the buyer because he didn't enter the market passively. He didn't enter on the order book. He entered aggressively, which makes him visible to the whole world. And if he's visible, he's vulnerable. And that is essentially the idea. There was one thing like when I worked on a trading floor, like my senior trader, if you want to call it, the boss, taught me, and he said, pain moves the market. That's it. It's always pain. Like real moves are done through pain. All right. And what that means, if you actually think about it, and it's so true. Imagine you're, this big buyer here. You entered a huge, 400 contracts, ridiculous amount, right? Massive amount of, capital, basically, you put on the line, and it goes against you. You're forced to exit the market. You have to exit the market. You can't hold on to a really bad loss, right? And that pain is what makes the market, because the moment he gets out, boom, 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 it's a snowball effect. And you're forcing someone to make a decision. Like you can't force someone to buy right now, right? If no one's in the market, you can hope people might buy, but nothing's forcing anyone to actually buy, right? But if they're already in the market and it goes against them, the pain is going to force them to make a move. And that is what moves the market. I've got like 5 minutes. A little bit longer. I've got like 8 minutes. Again, we're stuck in a range right now. We're going back, up, down, up, down. That buyer is constantly trying to reload at the bottom of the range. He's basically hedging his position, right? Not hedging it, but he's basically trying to average down to a better price. Because he got a bad price at the top here. He's holding. He's being brave, like he's holding. And then as it goes down to the bottom of the range, he's adding more size to try and average his, so his order average is going to be in the middle of the range now. You can see what's happening. But sellers are just got to take over, man. They got to squeeze this guy out. Squeeze this person out. I mean, if he wins, fair play to him. Fair play to him. 730C, big buyer. 730, what on the order book? Where's 730? Or you mean on the footprint? Oh, okay. You mean on the footprint at 730? Yeah, it's the same buyer. You can see how the buyer is placing their orders. He's a breakout buyer. That's what he's a breakout trader, right? So every time it breaks out, he's adding more. Breakout, he's adding more. But he's gonna get squeezed out eventually. And now he's trying to average his order into the middle of the range, which makes him still vulnerable, because he's now put even more size into the market. If we get below the range for him, because he's a breakout trader, if we break the range below, he's going to be forced to exit and the market can push down. All right, we've got 6 minutes before I have to leave. Can we just get this freaking move to happen at least? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold the trade when I'm gone. I'm going to set a more realistic take profit. And yeah. Dennis says 760, big seller there. 1022 buying delta, but no follow through. Where's 760? Let's have a look. Big seller at 760 around this area. Are you looking order book or footprint? There's nothing there on the order book. On the footprint, big seller there, 1022 buying delta, but no follow through. Oh, you mean passively? I'm with you. Where's the delta? 760. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find exactly where you're on about, Dennis. Delta histogram. I've never looked at a delta histogram by price. Ah, you mean like the volume profile, like this, or you mean a histogram at the bottom where it shows? Okay, you mean the histogram, yeah. Passive total volume, interesting. I have the delta volume at the bottom on the table, not as a histogram, but just as numbers. I think this guy is about to get squeezed out, literally just as we end the stream. Do you use Bookmap by any chance? I don't. I have used it before. I've tried it out. It's very good, Bookmap. But it just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't for me. There was just too much going on. But it is an awesome tool. Like I would never say anything bad about it. It's a great tool, honestly. I shook the magic 8-ball about the market moving to the downside, and it said it will happen faster than you think. The odds are pretty good here, Sam. Thank you, Tom. I think like it's going to happen. It has to happen. Mathematically speaking, almost it has to happen, right? Because there's just too much buyers, and like they're gonna have to exit at some point. The moment it doesn't go any more in their favor, They're going to be forced to exit the market because it's such a buildup of buyers. And that exit in itself will spur on a sell-off, because it will be market sell orders, the exit. So, and the price will go down, because in order for them to exit, they have to, it will be a sell order. So, but it could take, when it will happen. This is the question. It's not if it will happen, it's when. That's the annoying part. And we've got 2 minutes on this stream. Hedge your bets now. Do you think the moment I exit this stream, boom, it's going to crash down? I'll make a story on Instagram if it does, like yesterday. So do follow me on Instagram if you haven't. Sam Trader FX. I don't know why I put FX at the end. I don't even trade foreign exchange, Forex, but I was trying to find like a cool username, and I thought, why not FX? Even though I don't know. So just ignore the FX, I guess. Have you heard about Deep Charts? Deep Charts. Yeah. Is that a new platform? It rings a bell. Deep. There it is. Like, we're starting to break below the range now. Literally 1 minute before I have to leave. I think I'm cursed. I think I'm actually cursed. I am truly cursed as a human being. Take care. Meet Dad Hanya. We'll see you tomorrow. Here's the move down. What an absolute freaking joke. Look at that buyer starting to get squeezed out now. Okay. The question is now, because I have to actually go, do I cancel out the order and come back and scalp it, or do I set a TP and hope for the best? Because I hate walking away from a trade, because I like to keep my eye on the footprint. And if something, happens, I can manage it in real time. Oh, I don't know, man. All right. What do I need? I need 1800 just to be flat. I mean, it will keep dumping, because now the snowball effect's in play. It will keep dumping, but I'm not going to be able to add more positions and go back in on pullbacks and stuff like that, because I'll be away. All right, I'm going to target this low here, point of control. It's an older point of control. Where's the actual point of control on the day? Let me just have a quick look. Potentially target that as a TP. Where's this? Oh, there it is. Okay, the point of control is at the top now. All right, which makes sense, and we're trading below. Yeah, we're dumping. We're dumping. All right, I'm going to set and forget it. This is what I'm going to do. Set and forget the trade. I'm going to target the bottom here. There are a bunch of areas where we're going to get pullbacks and stuff like that, but I'll be off the charts. I'll keep my TP at the top here. And we'll leave it at that. And I'll update you guys on Instagram, or I'll come back live again. If the market's still, if I'm still in this trade, for example, and I come back and it's still running, I will jump back on live. If not, if the market's dead and it's already played out, then obviously I'll come back tomorrow. But yeah. All right. Yeah, Nadine, let it run. Extend the time. Yeah, no, I have to be somewhere in 13 minutes. So I have to go, unfortunately. I would love to stay on, but I have to go. It's literally, I'm going for a haircut. But you know, you have to book it. The barber's not available for like another 2 weeks or something. So this is my last chance to get a haircut from a barber I trust. So I kind of have to go, annoyingly. It's gonna be a freaking expensive haircut if this trade doesn't work out. But guys, I'm running late on time. Eva, I'll see you a bit later today. Follow me on Instagram to keep an update on this trade. I'm going to let it run. And I may come back if we're still, if it's still in play. All right, guys, I'll catch you all either later today or tomorrow. So turn on notifications for the lives. If I come back on, you'll get a notification. All right. But thank you all for joining. I'll see you hopefully later today. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.